Let's take a look at Org Documentation Center. This is a suite of 7 applications that will help you document every aspect of your org for compliance and corporate governance and for audit trails. The application is easy to use. Download our rich desktop player, install it, and you'll come here to the first screen. You can select any of the org document applications over here at left, log in with your Salesforce account over here at right, click the launch button to run that application. All right, let's go through these applications one by one. Let's start with the org dictionary report. This report will document every single metadata type. Let's start with sharing rules. Select elements out of the sharing rule and move those into the table at right. If you go to the Preview Report tab, you will see all of your sharing rules here in a single table. The org dictionary can also handle complex structures. Let's look at Apex pages. In this case, you'll see that some of the Apex pages have multiple package versions, so those are broken out into a little array right over here. Also, some of the cells are highlighted red. You can color code any of the cells. It's very easy. All you have to do is select one of the elements and create the filter. So that's very helpful for your auditors. All right, so to run this report, all you do is check the things that you're interested in over here at left and go to the Display Report tab, and it creates a roll-up report of all of your selected metadata types. So this is an absolutely fundamental report for auditing, for compliance, for governance, and documenting your org. Now, the data dictionary report is really very similar, except it is a deep dive on objects and fields. There's a lot more API information available about objects and fields, and we use all of that information to assemble the data dictionary. So you can select any custom or standard object over here at left. You can look at all of your object properties and select any that you need and move those over here to the selected list. You've also got an enormous number of field properties, and you can select whatever you need into your field properties, and then when you go to the Display Report tab, it will create a gigantic table with all of your information about object and field properties. So obviously you can customize that any way you want. Once again, we've got color coding, so you can select any property that you're interested in and create colors with a filter. So you can document all of these metadata assets, but how are they related to each other? And that's where change impact analysis comes in. This report will let you select any metadata type over here at left and any one of the actual assets over here at right. Let's select a custom object. If you go to View Dependency, you'll see every metadata asset that references this custom object and every asset that this custom object references as well. And you can expand this tree forever and ever and see how everything is connected to everything else. If you right-click on one of the arrows, you can see the actual object relationship in the metadata. The impact analysis report is absolutely vital for understanding how the metadata is connected in your org. And of course, you can export this information for engineering meetings or for presentation or for whatever you need. Next up, we're going to focus on Apex Code. The Apex Code Coverage Report lets you select any of your Apex tests over here at left, and when you click the Display Report tab, it generates a really beautiful summary of all of your coverage, and it will show you the aggregate coverage for your org. Down here in the lower right, you can, of course, control the color coding right here. And once the report is generated, you can look at the actual coverage for different lines and see which parts are covered and not covered. Now, the Apex Code Quality Report conducts static analysis of your Apex classes and triggers. You can select any of your classes and triggers over here at left, and when you select them, you'll see all of the different problems that they have here in the center column. If you select a problem, for example, these are best practices, it will call out that line of code over here at right. You can select any of the classes and triggers that you're interested in, and on the Display Report tab, you will see a gigantic report of all of the different issues from best practices to security to performance that your Apex classes and triggers happen to have. As usual, you can manage this information and customize it with different colors depending on your business practices. The Fields versus Page Layout report will let you select any object over here at left, and then it will show you all of your different fields down the left-hand side, and across the top it'll show you all of your different page layouts. So this is very useful to see what values are read-only, what values are editable, and what values are required on all of your different page layouts. As usual, you can check any number of objects here at left, and all of those will be included in the final display report. Record types versus pick lists is another useful report. You can see all of your pick lists down the left-hand side and all of the different values and record types across the top. So this will show you which values belong to which record type. Another thing it shows you is standard value sets, regular pick lists, and global value sets here across the left. So a very useful utility report. You can, of course, check whatever objects you're interested in including, and on the Display Report tab, it will combine all that information for you. And lastly, the controlling versus dependent pick list report will show you all of the controlling and dependent pick list values in a given object. So just for example, here, the region field, Americas, controls the countries field, USA, and the dependent states here are Texas, New York, New Jersey, and California. So this report really lays it all out there and makes it easy to comprehend the complexity in all of these controlling and dependent fields. All right, there you have it. The Org Document Center is an absolute powerhouse for org compliance, audit, and documentation.